Tonight, Monster Jam roars into the racing capital of the world, Indianapolis, Indiana, for round 7. Tyler Menninga continues to ride a mammoth wave of momentum created by his 13 competition wins. Can he use this to capture his 6th overall event championship of the season? And then there's Colt Stephens, coming off a freestyle win, looking to make a run towards the top in the point standings as the battle heats up among the top 5. This is Stadium Championship Series Blue, next on Monster Jam.
Oh my God!
On what is a very brisk winter night in downtown Indianapolis, inside Lucas Oil Stadium, it's heating up as 34,000 fans pack in for round 7 of the 2023 Monster Jam season. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leslie Mears alongside the 7 Deuce Deuce, Adam Enticknap. And we're 1 month into the season, and it's still all about Ryan and Tyler here, as they've accounted for 7 of the 8 event championships so far. And Ryan had a great event in Houston. It was about this time 1 year ago where he really took charge and started to make a stride towards that points championship. Is this going to be the time for him this year?
You know, it all starts with racing. He said himself that he's been struggling to get out of his own way. He has a 6-7 racing record this year, which is nothing compared to his 77% winning average last year. If he's going to do something, it needs to start in racing, and it needs to start now.
And there'll be a shakeup here in racing this weekend because we do have a driver change here. Charlie Pauken, former World Finals freestyle champion, will be driving El Toro Loco this weekend. So what do you think the chances are coming in that he can kind of shake things up here?
You know, Charlie Pauken is one of the most accomplished drivers in Monster Jam. He has a World Finals championship and multiple series event championships. For Charlie Pauken coming in mid-season, that's going to be one of the most difficult parts for him. These other drivers have so much momentum. I think if he can win one of the 3 events tonight, it would be huge for El Toro Loco and Charlie Pauken.
And a huge thing for us if we get to see the Chucky dance as well. Another driver we need to mention here is Colt Stephens. He had so much of an amazing homecoming last round in his hometown of Houston, and he got his first freestyle win of the season, and it looks like he's kind of got his groove back at him.
Yeah, you know what? I think he doesn't have his groove totally back. I think he has a groove, but in that new Thunder Roarers truck, I think the potential is so big for him. I think he can be even better than he was in his old Monster Jam gig. Now, with that being said, as a broadcast analyst for Colt Stephens to come out of the booth, come back to the track and do so good, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been awesome. And now it's time to hear from our former broadcast partner on that historic homecoming in Houston. Let's send it down for our UNOH pit report.
My dad's been going to the Houston Astrodome and NRG Stadium for many, many years. And for me to be the first Stephens to finally get a freestyle win was absolutely epic. But my dad's reaction was the best. You know, he ran up to me, gave me a big hug, super proud, told me how proud my grandparents were. They were in heaven and looking down on me that weekend. It was just an absolutely epic weekend all the way around. And have my dad there to share that moment with me was just awesome. There's no doubt coming back into the sea, it's taken me a little bit of time to adjust. You know, the trucks have changed a little bit, the tracks have changed a lot, but I'm coming through and I'm figuring it out really quickly. I'm getting the rust knocked off. Coming away with a freestyle win in Houston was epic. I just need to keep building on that. I got the best crew from UNOH behind me, pushing me to do better every single weekend, giving me an awesome truck. So keep pushing that way, and I think as we keep going, we're just gonna get better and better, keep climbing our way up to the top of the points.
And if he wants to keep climbing, he has got to beat those other 11 drivers here. So Adam, who do you have your eye on in Indianapolis?
I mean, it has to be Cynthia without a doubt. We're in Lucas Oil Stadium, and her truck is Lucas Stabilizer. Doing it in front of the people that pay your bills has to add so much added pressure. Last year, she got 5th in freestyle on the first night and 0 points on the next night, so I'm sure she wants a little redemption.
So 4 weekends into competition, and Tyler Menninga still on top. Ryan second, Bari third, Corey Rummel and John Gordon rounding out the top 5 here.
15 points separate 4th, 5th, and 6th, Leslie. And you even have Cynthia there in 7. When you look at those drivers 3 through 7, all of them have a history of winning competitions. A win tonight could shuffle this leaderboard so much.
Yeah, and bracket style racing, Great Clip Skills Challenge, and the freestyle competition will be the 3 that you'll see them in action here in tonight. And of course, 12 points going to the winner of each one. We'll total those up, and the one with the most points at the end of the night will be our overall event championship. And so we got to talk about the dirt here in Indianapolis. It's hard packed, and it seems to rut up fast. So in your Supercross experience, Adam, you were able to avoid those ruts. How are our drivers going to do it in these huge monster trucks here?
With my experience, this dirt in Indianapolis is usually very soft, but tonight it's hard packed. The trick for me, the things I'm going to be watching for, is how the track develops. You're going to see the ruts in the corners develop very, very quickly, and the key in racing is going to be to avoid the ruts, kind of cross over and find those new lines that are a little bit faster.
And we've got some great matchups here in our racing bracket here as we take a look at what we're going to see in round 1. It's going to be Avenger, Bad Company, Monster Mutt, El Toro Loco, Megalodon versus Thunderosaurus, Lucas Stabilizer versus Axe, and then already advanced into round 2 with buys, we see Son of a Digger, Zombie, Grave Digger, and Shaker. Adam, who do you like here?
I gotta go with Monster Mutt versus El Toro Loco as the one to watch. A rookie versus a veteran. On top of that, Chris is running the Monster Mutt body that Chucky ran last year. Even though Charlie's in El Toro Loco, we're gonna find out who the big dog is tonight.
And it's also the same body that he won the World Finals Freestyle Championship in as well. So we are going to head down to the track now for our first race of the night, where we're going to see Jim Kohler rocking that amazing Jamie Garner tribute body out there in Avenger versus John Gordon in Bad Company.
Both drivers off to a good start. The track's looking very tacky. John Gordon a little slow in that second corner.
We're seeing our drivers really tiptoe around these corners, and maybe it's one of those situations where slow is fast as they cross the finish line here. Very close race to kick off the night as we'll take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
John Gordon getting it by a BKT tire.
So Bad Company will advance here with the win. We'll look at our second matchup here. It'll be Monster Mutt and El Toro Loco. This is the matchup you said that we need to watch here as Charlie Pawkins is going to get his first shot at the track.
Chucky off to a good start, and El Toro Loco. Monster Mutt grabs the pod.
Still tiptoeing around those corners. El Toro Loco goes wide into the last corner, and that's going to be the difference here as we're going to see Kohler advancing here into round 2 in Monster Mutt. So that brings us now to our third matchup, where we'll see Colt Stephens in Thunderosaurus versus Corey Rummel in Megalodon. And I'm really looking for Corey to pick it up here in racing like he did last season, where he was making it to those final rounds week in, week out. 2 wheels for Stephens around the first corner.
So hot out of the gate for Colt Stephens. He's got a little bit of an advantage right now. Don't make a mistake, and he has the win.
He's really seeming to push it very hard, and that's going to be an easy win here for Stephens as we take a look here at our replay.
Colt Stephens coming off the line so much quicker than Corey Rummel. Coming around the last turn, look at that chocolatey dirt. What a win for Colt Stephens.
A 17.936, and one of the few times we've seen a time in the 17s on this tour. So to end round 1 here, we'll have one more pair. It'll be Axe and Joe Foley versus Cynthia Gauthier in Lucas Stabilizer.
Cynthia off to a really good start, but pushes a little wide. Let's see how that apex works out.
It's interesting to see the maneuvers that our drivers are using around these turns. Some staying tight, some going wide here like Cynthia. And how about it? Joe Foley in Axe will advance. So we are ready to rock here for round 2. And I just want to point out here, Thunderosaurus with the fastest time of the first round will face Grave Digger, who has been pretty much unstoppable in racing so far this season with 6 championships out there. So that's a matchup to watch. So it was Ryan Anderson who ended Tyler Menninga's winning streak en route to his first racing win of the season. Can he make it 2 in a row? Son of a Digger is next. So we are back in Indianapolis for round 2 of Monster Jam Racing. So we'll take it back down to the track here, and up first it'll be Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger versus John Gordon in Bad Company. And these two have such a great relationship off track. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out here on track. And look at Ryan, so fast around that first corner.
Both good in those first 2 turns, but Ryan Anderson definitely with the advantage.
Yeah, an edge there, and look how he is slinging and sliding around those corners as Anderson will advance to the semifinals.
John Gordon came out of that last corner and gave it everything he got, but Ryan Anderson by a BKT tire.
So next up, we'll see Team Scream's Chris Kohler in Monster Mutt versus the leader of Zombie Nation, Bari Musauer. And Kohler has really come along in his racing, kind of getting his feet wet here in his rookie season. And check it out, he goes up on 2 wheels in that first turn.
Oh, that Indianapolis dirt is rutting up.
And it looks like what happened here is that he possibly got shut off. And so that's going to impede the course here. So it'll be interesting to see what the officials will do here. And so what they're telling us is that they're going to give Bari Musauer another opportunity to race here. And so the course was dirty. He'll get a clean track to make a single pass here by himself. How important is that?
Man, that is such a big advantage for Bari Musauer. He has no pressure at all whatsoever. You can look at the lines, maybe even slow up, check out the track, and your mind's not as distracted thinking about the other driver. So this is going to be great for Bari, especially for lane choice.
And up now, it will be our current points leader, Tyler Menninga. And speaking to those fast times, Colt Stephens turned in the fastest one of round 1. Can he master this corner? And he survives.
Colt Stephens grabs the inside pod, puts it up on 2 wheels. Tyler Menninga flawless once again. Tyler having to slow down at the finish, though. Is that going to mess up his time?
It looked like after Colt just kind of oversteers a little bit, over-rotates, trying to get in there a little bit quicker, he does clear the course. And so I don't know that Menninga really had to slow down here. He still advances with an amazing time there, under 18 seconds. So it takes us to our final matchup here. It will be Shaker versus Axe, as we see who will advance here into our semifinal round.
Axe a little slow off the line. He has to start coming a little more inside off that pod. Shaker with a big advantage sticking to the inside line.
That Shaker truck just really starting to work well as he shakes down that truck and gets it more settled into the course, finding those bugs, and he will advance here into the semifinals. So our bracket is set here. We'll see Ryan Anderson face Bari Musauer, Tyler Menninga against Ryan Disharoon. We're going to see some fast times out here in this semifinal matchup. So when we come back, our racing winner will be crowned. The final 4 hit the track when Monster Jam returns. We're back at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for the Monster Jam Racing semifinals. 3-time World Finals champion Ryan Anderson will match up against Bari Musauer in this round. And Ryan trying to keep that streak alive, trying to make it into his 2nd consecutive racing finals. And he is off the pod first and fast.
Man, Bari with a slow start. This race means so much to both these drivers as momentum is key in Monster Jam.
And Ryan just whipping it around and shooting over that last turn pod to easily advance here into the finals one more time.
Man, look at Ryan Anderson, almost a full BKT tire in front of Bari off the start with a big win.
Man, and he just keeps picking up steam and getting faster. And breaking news in here, we're seeing that Tyler Menninga can't make it to the line out here. It's very unfortunate for him. It's an unsuccessful attempt to the line, so he will not make it. So what's going to happen now is Colt Stephens in Thunder Roaris is going to get a 2nd opportunity here to put himself into the racing finals, since he was the fastest contestant not to advance in that last round.
What a big opportunity for Thunder Roaris. He needs to take advantage of it, but it's going to be hard against Shaker. Shaker is on the throttle right now. Let's see how they come into this corner. Both are clear.
Colt with a slight advantage here as they both hit the turn pod, power through, and it looks like Thunderosaurus. Let's take a look here at our Super Glued to the Action replay.
Man, Colt Stephens is on tonight in Indianapolis.
So awesome to see that he gets that second opportunity to come back. He's making good use of it, putting himself into the finals. And I think that this is some of the momentum that he's gaining from that Houston freestyle victory, and he's bringing it here to our final racing matchup. So we're going to see Ryan Anderson trying to go back-to-back for racing event wins. We're going to see Colt Stephens trying to take advantage of that mishap from Gravedigger and advance and get those 12 points.
A nice turn off the pod for Ryan Anderson, a slight advantage coming around that first corner. He goes a little wide, avoids the ruts, just a little bit ahead is son of a digger.
It's all going to come down to this final turn, and we see a little bit of rutting action there from Stephens, and it's going to be Anderson taking the racing final. Let's take a look at our replay.
You can see the ruts developing in Indianapolis. Colts grabbed those BKT tires and puts it up on 2, can't throttle out.
So Ryan Anderson will put him on top of our very first BKT overall points standing board. And you can see how they fall here. But breaking news coming in now, Tyler Menninga in 6th. He's outside of that top 5. So the second competition here at Lucas Oil Stadium was the Great Clip Skills Challenge. And in this competition, drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or opt to do a donut. Each driver judged by the fans on their creativity, skill, and execution. So coming in 5th was Ryan Disharoon in Shaker, hitting a nose wheelie.
Putting it in that nose wheelie, getting that 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck perfectly 90 degrees in the air. This is so good for Ryan. He's not normally the greatest in 2-wheel skills, but getting it done.
How about Chris Kohler coming in 4th here in Monster Mud with the bicycle to the one-wheel safe?
Nice bicycle for the rookie, getting it done.
Corey Rummel in 3rd place with the popper in Megalodon, and then a little moonwalk.
So impressive. This truck's a little heavier. For him to do that is even harder than the rest of the drivers.
And here comes Cynthia Gauthier, Lucas Stabilizer, showing she's a World Finals high jump champion with that huge sky wheelie.
What a sky wheelie, 90 degrees in the air. So pumped for Cynthia.
And how about it coming back in a huge way here? Tyler Menninga in a Gravedigger, that amazing bicycle to moonwalk combo we've seen so many times.
This dude is a magician. Tyler Menninga getting the win in 2-wheel skills.
So a very confident Tyler Menninga gets 12 points. And how about this? He jumps from 6th to 1st on our BKT overall point standings leaderboard here with Stephens, Disharoon, Anderson, and Moosauer rounding out the top 5. So it's a tight race for the overall event championship. It'll be decided with freestyle competition. That's coming up when Monster Jam returns. Lucas Oil Stadium is the home of the Indianapolis Colts, and tonight it's our home for round 7 of the 2023 Monster Jam season. Leslie Mears and Adam Enticknap at the Monster Jam studios. And tonight has been one of the most competitive rounds that we have seen so far, from top to bottom, just 5 points separating the top 6 drivers. So let's talk about Colt Stephens here. He came back in racing when Tyler couldn't compete. He made it to the finals, and he's sitting tied for the overall point standings so far. Could this be the night that we see Colt show some consistency and get his first overall event championship?
You know, Colt has had a very solid night, but to beat Tyler Menninga, solid is not going to cut it. He needs to get the first 30 seconds in freestyle out of the way, then he needs to take some risk. In the booth, multiple times, Colt Stephens always used to say, "Cowabunga." I'm gonna flip the script tonight a little bit. I wanna see Colt Stephens go cowabunga on that freestyle track.
I want to see it too. Ryan Disharoon has 2 top 5 finishes so far. And more importantly, after battling gremlins for so much of the season, he and his team have kept Shaker in the competition. So what do you like that you've seen from Ryan so far?
You know, I just love that I've seen so much heart from that entire team. Something else that I've seen is a little bit more consistency from Ryan. Tonight, he's been up there in both of the competitions, and consistency is gonna be what it takes to be atop that leaderboard tonight.
So here's the order for our freestyle competition. As you'll see, the players are all the way down at the bottom of the order. So Colt Stephens won the last freestyle event. He is electing to go 12th. And then Tyler Menninga will be 11th. However, he had that charging issue earlier on in the night. He's going to be in the back. He's going to be plugged in the entire time. You know, what does that mean for him that he doesn't get to see those 10 previous runs?
You know, it's going to be very difficult. The disadvantage is you're not going to see how the crowd is reacting to those freestyle runs. What's good, what's been done, and what can be better. Where Colt's going to be able to see that. The advantage to me is that why be nervous? If you can't see anything, just go out and do the best that you can, and it is what it is.
Yeah, Tyler Menninga, through 8 events, has 4 freestyle wins. Cynthia Gauthier has 2. Ryan Anderson and Colt Stephens each have 1. And 8 other drivers here are still looking for their first win. So who do you see getting a win first?
I mean, I'll tell you what, if I had $1 million, it's going to be on Bari Musauer. He was the winningest freestyle driver last season. I mean, it's got to be him, right?
That being said, let's get back to the action inside of Lucas Oil Stadium as we begin the freestyle competition. First up, we'll see Ryan Disharoon in Shaker.
You know, we talked about the advantages and disadvantages of the placement in freestyle. And to me, you know, if you're going first,
nice technical move.
Yeah, nice technical move for sure for Ryan. But if you're going first, the crowd hasn't seen anything. So everything looks big and can be a big score. But if you don't do good, it can be a huge disadvantage because the crowd is not impressed.
Yeah, I think technical moves like we see those 2-wheel maneuvers getting put into our freestyle competitions and backsiding those jumps and those smooth landings really help out Disharoon as we see him clear the pod.
Yeah, Ryan Disharoon, I love this team. I love everything that they're about. They build this entire truck themselves at the metal shop. And right now I'm seeing everything that is key for a freestyle run, but it's kind of slow to me. What do you think, Leslie?
I think he's trying to amp up what's happening here in the competition and really try to use that crescendo effect as we see an awesome slap wheelie there off of the race ramp. And so just trying to get those moves built up to kind of build that anticipation and excitement here with our fans.
Man, I need to see something big. I need to see some bigger air. I need to see this Shaker truck pick it up.
So it looks like he's going to whip around here in the corner. Will this be our first backflip attempt of the night?
Oh, he was a little bit crooked. Oh,
Can he save it? Almost with the back-to-back flips there as we take a look here at our replay.
Comes into the backflip ramp, everything looks good, under rotates, grabs the front BKTs, bounces to the back BKTs, and can't save it.
So that'll put a score in the books here for Disharoon. Up next here, Lucas Stabilizer driver and 2019 World Finals high jump champion, Cynthia Gauthier.
Cynthia this season has been very hot and cold, winning and then having some unfortunate events. Tonight is a big night for her in Lucas Oil Stadium. She needs to put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, we see her amping up early, getting that big air, a great bounce on the landing there to help her keep this run going.
The rhythm and the momentum I'm seeing right off the bat is definitely good. That's what we like to see in freestyle.
And she's in an uncomfortable spot for her. She said she would much rather go later in the freestyle competition. She wants to see a couple more trucks go, see how the dirt is reacting. Remember, Tyler Menninga talked about how it's not as consistent as they want it to be, and it's starting to break apart and rut. And that can mean trouble for them when they're trying to make those turns in freestyle.
Yeah, it definitely can. It makes it much more difficult. One of the things that I heard about Cynthia with her crew chief is to get her to relax. She'll actually sing in the radio before the freestyle event. I absolutely love that.
I do too. Maybe we should get her on some karaoke contest here. I think that'd be great for her. So the door swinging wide open. That's got to be a huge distraction for her here as she lines up for our backflip. Nice execution here by Gauthier. All 4 BKT tires on the ground, leaving her in an opportunistic place to keep going. But unfortunately, it looks like she's shut off here. Here we go.
Keep it going. We got to get the momentum up right now. She needs to put the pedal to the metal. Nice technical move. Look at her get that truck up there.
Oh, walking it down the ramp, holding it steady.
Oh!
And then can she bring it back around?
Oh, too much power in reverse and puts it on the lid, but the crowd's on their feet.
Let's take a look here at our super glue glued to the action replay.
She lines up for the backflip a little bit extra, which I think was perfect, landed it, but throws it in reverse there, hits the throttle too much and lands on her lid.
Fans loving it with an 8.948. And coming up, 5 of the top 6 drivers in the overall point standings hit the track. We are back at Lucas Oil Stadium, and earlier today, thousands of fans visited the pit party and had a great time before tonight's event. And just moments ago, they had a great time watching John Gordon go for the 8-pack backflip, but he couldn't stick the landing there, and he got a 6.562. But bigger issues plagued Joe Foley as he blew the motor in axe with over a minute left in the run, which would give the rookie a score of just 5.016. So next up here, it'll be the first freestyle foray for Charlie Pauken.
El Toro Loco coming out here, the veteran, one of the most accomplished drivers in Monster Jam, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Looks like he's just trying to get that first 30 seconds filled.
So the other thing is that Charlie is stepping into a truck that he hasn't driven all season. Adam, how tough is that when you've got to try to make adjustments and learn a new piece of equipment?
Man, it is so difficult in Supercross. When I had to get on a fresh bike, I had to learn every little in and out to that bike, and it was hard to get used to. And Charlie, these Monster Jam drivers, they don't get to drive during the week. He had to show up to this event in Indianapolis, hop in the truck, in a brand new truck that he hasn't driven, and perform.
Yeah, I got a little practice round in on Friday. They're gonna adjust seat, they're gonna adjust pedals, steering wheel. Those kind of things are very easy to do, but then it's learning the intricacies of the truck as well. And he's adjusting well here, really amping it up there with some big air and getting some speed in his freestyle.
I'm not seeing the comfortability in this truck that I saw last year in Monster Mutt, but he's doing a great job, looking like he's going for the backflip, lines it up perfectly straight. Oh man, what a nice job in a combo with the wheelie.
Great work to shift it back into gear there and to get it moving in freestyle. This is definitely gonna add to his run.
Yeah.
And there's another one.
Grabbing another little technical combo move, putting it into the stoppie.
Man, I love his presence of mind to be able to get the additional move on the backflip, to put those two-wheel maneuvers in there as well. And one thing that we talked a lot about last season is that Charlie actually has a vehicle that he uses on a smaller scale to practice those two-wheel skills. And so he's keeping himself fresh at home. Of course, this is his domestic debut, but also doing some international events, just always trying to keep himself primed and ready to go.
Yeah, and what you're watching, El Toro Loco is kind of struggling towards the end of that run. I think there was a rear steer issue.
We'll take a look here at our replay.
Nice backflip, good rotation, a little bit under, but the veteran uses it to his advantage to make a combination move.
Well, up next here, we'll see Ryan Anderson, the 3-time World Finals Freestyle champion. So he currently only has 14 points. He's 5 away from Tyler's lead, 3 behind the second place Ryan Disharoon, and with Shaker currently 3rd in freestyle, he'll need to take the lead here, or at least overtake Ryan Disharoon on the leaderboard if he wants a shot at this.
Man, I hope that wasn't an issue for Ryan Anderson, Leslie. I seen him hit that big jump right off the bat. A little bit of flame came out the exhaust, and then he stalled.
I think we have to remember too, these trucks have EFI, so sometimes moving from elevation to elevation, we do get a change there, but it should have self-adjusted by this time and been ready for action.
Ryan Anderson searching a little bit more than we're used to, Leslie.
I do like that quick turn in the corner. Definitely on the throttle with that signature rhythm.
You can see Ryan Anderson's truck a little bit more squatted in the back, a totally different setup than some of the other drivers, but using it to his advantage, whipping that truck around these corners.
Here comes this nice combo that he's become known for. Such finesse.
Wow, what a sweet move. You could tell when he got that popper to get those rear tires up, it was the perfect amount of momentum to glide on those front wheels and get that nose wheelie. So technical.
Yeah, lots of flow here is I think how we could describe his run so far.
Just being able to, Ryan is so good at being able to anticipate and time what is coming next, and I think that's what makes him such a good driver.
Is the flow going to be enough, though, to get a good score here with our fan judges?
He comes into the backflip, nice rotation, lands perfectly on all 4, gets the combo, nose wheeler to moonwalk. Nice job, Ryan.
And the best part, all 4 BKTs on the ground, little side slap there, but keeps on rolling, and that's what he needs to do to get that secondary wow factor after that backflip.
Man, that's gonna hurt in the morning. Ryan Anderson slinging this truck around Indianapolis. Another technical move. Lets that thing go all the way forward in the nose wheelie and holds it wide open to get it out.
And a great save there with the 2-wheel skill for Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. Let's take a look here at our Super Glue Glued to the Action replay.
Great lineup, and this is just an expert driver landing perfectly on all 4 BKTs. Pops that thing up, had it in reverse beforehand. Nice combination move.
And the risk worth the reward. Now it's time for our action of the week. We'll go to Tampa, Florida with Stadium Championship Series Red, and it's the Black Pearls Cole Vennard. It's the backflip to wheelie, the signature walk the plank.
Yep, lines up that backflip just right. Under rotates a little bit, but I think he does it on purpose. Pops those front BKT tires up, sets it on the bumper, and hits the signature walk the plank.
Set and sail right off the edge of the boat here with our action of the week. Speaking of our action, we have a lot more on the way from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis as more freestyles coming up next on Monster Jam. You're watching round 7 of the 2023 Monster Jam season with Stadium Championship Series Blue. So Ryan Anderson has the freestyle lead and may be on his way to World Finals. And if you want the opportunity to meet some of the stars on Stadium Championship Series Blue at World Finals, go to monsterjam.com. Get your tickets to the biggest event of the year in Nashville. And during the break, 2 drivers attempted their freestyle runs here. First, it was Megalodon's Corey Rummel, and unfortunately, he would roll over after hitting that popper with 33 seconds left on the clock for a score of a 7.246. Then Jim Kohler came out in the Avenger sporting the Overboard Tribute paint scheme. He would get a nice save, but went to the 8-pack and did not land it, which would give him a score of a 7.941. So back to the action here. It'll be another Team Scream partner, Chris Kohler in Monster Mutt.
I've gotten a couple chances to talk with Chris, and this is his rookie season. One of the hardest parts about this Stadium Series is just figuring out the timing and the distance between everything. He says he's having a hard time adjusting to what this stadium has to offer.
Trouble in the corner here. He stalled over by that backflip ramp, and he's just 5 points off the lead right now. And so he is hopeful that he can make a good showing here in freestyle and hope that Tyler and Colt don't have as good of finishes there at the bottom so he can try to get that overall.
I'm wondering if he got close to the edge of the stadium and the officials shut him off and then he got to go back on. But regardless, he needs to get the momentum up. Those stalls in freestyle can be very costly to the fan judging.
Hitting that triple combo there in the center of the track. Quick wheeling back around to the pod.
Nice soft landing on top, landing on all 4 BKTs like that. That is hard to do, especially for these rookie drivers. It saves the truck so much.
And there we see that spatial recognition, right?
Yep.
And I know for you in Super Closets, you're flying through the air and trying to judge how you're going to brake and how you're going to do that. Is it the same thing here for our drivers?
You know what? I think it's 10 times harder for these drivers because you are stuck in the Monster Jam truck. You can't see over the hood. Here he goes for the backflip. Perfect execution from the rookie.
I love to see it here. What can he do next? Here comes Monster Mutt.
Come on, Chris, you gotta give it the berries right here.
Here we go. Let's see what else he has in store. Some nice air there off the ramp. I think he's probably pretty pumped after executing that backflip. I like the quick turn in the center to try to get a little 2-wheel maneuver there off the pod. Step up.
Nice air. Leslie, it's almost like he hit the backflip and he was so surprised that he did it so perfect. He didn't know what to keep doing, but great run from Monster Mutt.
Let's take one more look at it here with our Super Glue Glued to the Action replay.
Here's that backflip. Great momentum, nice and straight, landing on all 4 BKTs.
So now it's 12-year veteran Bari Musauer in Zombie. He's the same situation here as Chris Kohler. So anything other than first place would end his hopes of an overall event championship.
And for Bari, he's one of those drivers where I've really expected him to kind of step up and win sooner than this. Last year, he won 8 events in the series, and this year he hasn't won anything. What do you think is going to be the biggest difference and the thing that's going to change Bari to get him on top for freestyle?
I think the truck's really been fighting Bari. You know, we talked a lot about shocks and about how his shocks just aren't quite right yet. And so I think when you're second guessing something like that, it maybe keeps you from putting your right foot down a little heavier, right? And giving it a little bit more throttle on those big jumps because you don't know how it's gonna land and regroup. And we've seen that from him. We've seen him go huge. And then once he lands, he gets that bad bounce that ends his run early. So I think that we're seeing some cautious moves here early, some signature moves, some slap wheelies, some great big air just like that from Musauer. As he gathers it up, that's that bounce I'm talking about.
So
a great job
close.
to just keep throttling it out there by Musauer.
What an experienced move to be able to save that monster jump after that bad bounce. And I can attest to that. When my equipment is not right, I am not confident and I don't want to go all out on the track. So it's 100% understandable. But here in Indianapolis, right now, Bari Musauer, the leader of Zombie Nation, is doing a great job.
He's going to twirl around here and make an attempt here at our backflip ramp. Great success rate on our backflips today, by the way. So another successful landing. Give it a little check there before he continues on here in his run. Lots of time left. Nice big air.
Nice, onto that pod, another bad bounce.
So again, trying to get that wow factor. Our score to beat here still a 9.537.
There we go, Bari, send that truck. A big bounce with a big save.
Yeah, I really thought he was gonna give it a tumble, do a quick rollover there. As Zombie will come to a stop. That'll be it for the leader of Zombie Nation, Bari Musauer. Let's take one more look at it.
Here he goes up the backflip ramp. Hits the throttle a little too much, over rotates. You gotta be careful on wear and tear landing on the back of the truck like that.
So an 8.878 as we'll take a look at our current freestyle leaderboard with Ryan Anderson up there at the top. Can Tyler and Colt catch him? The event champion will be determined with the final 2 freestyle runs. Can Menninga or Stephens get it done, or will Anderson take home the title? Find out next on Monster Jam. So we are back with more Monster Jam in Indianapolis. 2 drivers still left to take the track in freestyle, but if the competition were to end now, Ryan Anderson would be the event champion with 26 points. Tyler Menninga, Colt Stephens, still with a big chance here, though, to win. So here comes your series points leader, Tyler Menninga. He needs to finish 5th or better in Gravedigger to beat Ryan Anderson in the overall point standings. But if he takes the freestyle lead here, he would also eliminate Colt Stephens from contention.
Yeah, big moment here for Tyler, and he is taking this big moment and holding on to it. He's already got so much speed to start this freestyle run out. Big air.
Nice backside there.
Yeah, it was.
Great technique.
A little bit of supercross action clearing that thing so perfect.
And I felt like he's really got the rhythm down here. And of course, you know, the numbers speak for themselves here with his 4 freestyle victories on the season, and that's helped him get those 5 overalls as well.
You know, talking about numbers, we've talked so much about his racing record, but Tyler has been good in every single event, and that's why he's on top of this leaderboard.
Yeah, we mentioned at the top of the show, there are 13 event or competition championships, we should say, with those 5 overall event championships. And so the consistency here has been cued. I love that hit on the step out.
So smooth, that was like butter, Leslie.
And that's what it's gonna take here, right? You gotta keep your momentum going if you wanna cross-thread the track like that and get those big jumps in and continue on without some kind of mishap. Here he goes. The backflip ramp here in Indy is just superb as he lands it. And let's see what he's got for us.
Nice big jump, getting that wow factor after the backflip. It's so key. Oh, can he throw it in reverse and save it? Come on, Tyler! Oh my gosh!
He pulls it out and continues on like he hit a steel wall and then was able, and now
he's
it's the bicycle.
This man can do anything, Leslie.
So many wow factors. We'll take one more look at it with our replay.
Here he comes up the backflip ramp. It looks like he hit the rear steer a little bit, maybe adjusting, and then right here, that big save, throws it into reverse, gets that truck up, looks like he actually got it into forward, turned the truck on two, and then at the very end, throws a technical move in there with the bicycle. What a freestyle run in Indianapolis.
And that wow move will put him on top of the leaderboard with a 9.687. So unfortunately, that means that Colt Stephens has been eliminated from our overall event championship, but now it's all about bragging rights and trying to put together back-to-back freestyle victories as he carries some momentum into this competition from his placing in Houston, where he won with that awesome freestyle.
Yeah, momentum is going to be huge. He needs to do good in this event, maybe even win. But we talked about the advantages and disadvantages during the show about watching the runs. Here, I think he's at a big disadvantage from watching Tyler. That was such a good run. I don't even know how you top that. It's going to be a hard feat to grasp.
But he knows where the bar is, and so he knows he's just going to have to put his chin just a little bit higher over the top of it if he wants to be successful here.
That's all it takes is .001 to beat Tyler Menninga. Colt Stephens onto the pod, big bounce. Ooh, get that save. Come on. Oh.
So the roll over there will end the run early for Stephens, as we'll take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
Nice jump onto the pod, but you can see he's a little bit crooked. Gets a bounce. Look at the BKT tire in the dirt. Bounce to the left, bounce to the right, on top of the lid. You can't do anything if your tires aren't touching the ground.
Only a 6.338 for that run. He'll finish 11th as Menninga leads Gravedigger to his 5th freestyle crown of the year. Son of a Digger, a close second. Lucas Stabilizer in third, Zombie in fourth, and Charlie Pauken with a great domestic debut in El Toro Loco finishes 5th. So with another win here, Tyler adds 12 points to his total as we take a look here at our BKT overall point standings. Ryan Anderson second, Gautier third, Moosauer fourth, and Disharoon rounding out the top 5. Let's head down trackside to catch up with our overall event champion, his 6th of the season.
Yeah, so we took home the overall event championship tonight. It feels awesome. Racing definitely didn't go our way. Got knocked out of the bracket. Not really knocked out. We had truck problems in second round. Eliminated us out of the bracket. Two-wheel won that. It was awesome. And also with freestyle, just kept my head on a swivel and persevered through the event. You know, making sure I hit my marks in two-wheel and freestyle. You're never guaranteed to win in Monster Jam. So I knew I had to go hard and run hard to make up the points lost in racing, and that's exactly what we did.
Well, the next opportunity will be back at Lucas Oil Stadium for another round, and we hope you will join us for Adam Enticknap. I'm Leslie Mears. We'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam.